kids are staying at my parents'. We can go early," she almost whispered down the phone. We'd been wrestling with disconnection, wrestling with missed connection, arguing over the lack of connection. The time apart, perhaps good, perhaps bad, time would tell. We both tried, gosh we tried, and we'll continue to try. Her words resonated. There was something different. I'd missed her, I'd missed the kids, I'd missed them all terribly. Perhaps I tried to think before answering. Too quick would make me sound desperate, too long would make me sound disinterested. I argued with myself in those silent microseconds. We could go to Noosa, we should go to Noosa, her soft words almost begged. Noosa, that beach, that headland. It wasn't just a beach, and it wasn't just a memory. That place was etched into our blood, into our DNA. Many years ago, she made me swear that when she died, I'm to spread her ashes here, and I made her promise the same. "I'll pick you up at 4 a.m, I smiled back. "We can make it there for sunrise." With 2 cameras and a hot thermos, we headed up the traffic-free interstate. "I love this song," she smiled. "It reminds me of..." Her memory cut short. Remembering it reminded her of a million different things. Reminded her of things she wanted to remember. Reminded her of things she tried to forget. The sun was peeking over the horizon as we turned left onto the famous Hastings Street, then followed the winding road to the National Park. "I think I could do this with my eyes closed," I laughed. "I miss this view," she smiled. I looked at her. I looked at how she smiled as she pulled her pretty brown hair behind her ear, those green eyes sparkling in the morning sun. My heart filled with love, bruised yet still beating for her, still beating strongly. "I always look forward to that view," I answered her unasked question. "What am I shooting today?" she asked. I loaded the Olympus XA2 with Foma 100, and I was taking my grandfather's Rollei 35s with Kodak 250D. "You're still mucking around with film," she playfully chided me. That playfulness, that innocence, it felt like it used to, before everything got serious, before everything got strained. "I don't know how to do this," I paused at a lookout. "I don't know how to have this conversation. This is strange, yet so familiar, yet so different. You, me, this, us, if you want to call it that." Words tumbled out of my mouth, tears tumbled from my eyes. "Honey, I'm tired of talking about everything but this," I continued. Everything had been talked about. There was no words to say that hadn't been said. All that was left was what needed to be said. We had no answers, so we continued on the path towards our destination. I'd waited so long to have her here alone, to be here in Noosa. I'd waited years for her to want to be here with me, doing this, but why now? Why now would she take an interest? I'd finally gotten to a place where I loved doing this on my own, solo. I'd finally gotten to a place where I was comfortable with her saying no to my invitations. "Darling, don't put your guard up now." She wrapped her arms around mine. "Don't retreat. I don't know how to do this either." She put words to my feelings. I could feel her watching me as I put the old camera up to my eye. I could see her studying me as I studied the surrounds, as I searched for compositions, as I painted a picture in my eye of the rocks and the sand, of the sea and the swell, of the forest and the sky. She watched me as I tinkered with the camera. "You love this, don't you?" She looked deep into my eyes for the first time in a long time. In that instant I felt a combination of comfort and panic. She started to see me again. Was she really ready to see all of me? We'd both been on our best behaviour, moving forward, moving through things. Half of me cherished being seen. The other absolutely terrified she'd see the rest of me. The heaviness, the shame, the anger that I'd been carrying, hiding, masking. I shrugged off both feelings, promising just to sit in the moment. Just to sit with her. It was something I yearned for, longed for, ached for. We perched on the headland where her warm body wriggled in next to mine. The beautiful Pacific breezes cooled our faces in the warm morning sun. It bathed her in light, like an angel, like a saint. she glowed, this patch of land doing as much for her as it did for me. The sea, the salt, the air washing over her gently as it done many, many times before. She continued her earlier conversation, still sitting close. "Me being here, darling," she started. "What does it mean to you?" It was a question that she already knew the answer to. That she'd already figured out the best way to ask, the best way to get a response, the best way for me to answer as simply as I possibly could without overthinking it. Despite it all, I still overthought the response that I'd been planning for many moons, should she ask just a thing. "It means you see me. Just being here with me. This part of my life makes me feel connected to everything except you. It was something I did, those adventures, those travels, these photographs. I did them all to feel those feelings of..." I stopped. My words, the truth. Why did she ask these things? She nudged me, imploring me to continue, kissing my unshaven cheek softly. I just felt abandoned. And I didn't have the skills, the ability, the guts maybe to tell you. I sighed at the short monologue, waiting in silence. And now you're here, sharing this part of me. I guess I feel seen. I feel that perhaps you want to see a part of me that for so long I've wanted to share. She rested her head on my shoulder. I felt a few of her pure tears drip onto my t-shirt. Without words, she told me she was sorry. Without words, she showed me that she was here. I poured each of us a coffee. We used to do this in the years of famine. Bring a thermos, instant coffee, and some UHT we nipped from a truck stop, and shared some very hot, very sweet coffee. It felt like full circle drinking coffee from a shared cup. "Gosh, this is still terrible," she smiled. Coffee was truly, forgettably unforgettable. Each sip an offence to our now matured taste buds. "It's the best thing I've had in years," she continued, offering me a sip. The sun had well and truly come out. The road had a bit of a drive. We walked once again, hand in hand, back to my little car. We chatted freer than we had in many years. It just felt normal, like it should, like we used to. The 2 or so hours went by in a flash. "Would you like to?" She paused. "I've got some bacon and eggs. Would you like me to fix you some if you're not in a rush to go?" I stared deep into her eyes. They asked a million more questions than just breakfast. I held her soft hands, looking at those eyes, looking at me. Breakfast and then what? My heart, my mind and my body all told me different things. They all pulled me in different ways. However I answered was inconsequential. We had the most beautiful morning, and I hope to have many, many more once again.